Oh my goodness.
We're live.
Oh, perfect.
All right, hang on just a second. I'm going to bring up those notes.
I forgot to do a sound test. Hang on. Let me just do a quick
sound test.
Yep, it works.
It sounds good to me.
Right on. All right. Are you ready, Marty?
I'm ready.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 139, recorded live on July 26, 2017. On tonight's episode, we discuss Pokemon Go Fest, Walmart's SNES Classic problems, Nintendo's Q1 financial start over.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm
Justin
good.
will have those. All right.
Here we go.
Go for it.
Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 139, recorded on July 26, 2017. On tonight's episode, we discuss PokeFest and its issues, Walmart's SNES Classic pre-order mess, Nintendo's Q1 fiscal 2017 results, and Bobby Pauls, the Nintendo guru, is here with us to celebrate, well, Nintendo. Zach, cue the music.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Dads Podcast. My name is Zach Erickson, and tonight is July 26th, 2017. Joining me tonight from the place with VGTribune.com, that's what it is, Jesse Waldeck. What's going on tonight, Jesse?
The place?
The place with
the place to be.
Yeah. Good. Just fair warning, I am in the middle of a thunderstorm, so you may hear it go boom.
And as we always know, speaking of going boom, joining us as well from the land of the South, His Excellency Marty Estes. What's going on, Marty?
That boom that you would hear would probably be the queso burger I ate earlier.
Oh, man, that's amazing. No Justin tonight, but of course the Nintendo guru himself is joining in his stead. Bobby Pauls, what's going on, Bobby?
I'm playing some Splatoon while you guys are jibber jabbing around over there. So,
man, I'm actually in the middle of a match right now. I'm not.
So am I. I got like 37 seconds left.
Oh my gosh!
Jason Lacey and the boys. I'm getting smoked, but
the curling bomb is I don't know.
It's amazing. That's what it is. It's amazing.
An guy, and so I'm having a hard time right now. This is just
Is Eric Plunk in there?
No, thank God.
Thank God. You might, everybody might actually survive.
You know what? Eric, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I've been camping for the majority of the last week, so I got online yesterday, and I'm like, oh, what? Eric is level 20? What?
Yeah.
Like,
yup.
I don't understand.
Ooh, I got smoked.
It's a problem. Eric, seek help. Send up a smoke signal. I don't know what you need to do, but we're here for you if you need help.
I just put up 1,200 points, so that helps, right?
Nice. Right on.
Still lost, but whatever. I'm like 200 points away from level 19, so I'm good. Yeah,
right on. Well, with that,
okay, let's get into this.
You know what? I died, and so that's perfect time to transition into the news because you can play Breath of the Wild while podcasting. I don't think you can actually do this. This is bad.
No, this is hard.
All right. Let's get into the news, shall we?
Do it.
Yeah, I can farm dragon parts during a podcast. I cannot do this. Yeah, no, I probably have cost this match for my team. Of course. As well, of course, the news is brought to us by patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. For everybody, all of our patrons. We got some awesome new patrons. We've got some some old returning ones who are amazing as well. And so huge thanks. Go over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. If you want to support the show, which I know there are people out there who are like, if only I could give you money for this great thing. Well, good news, you can. Patreon.com/Nintendo Dads.
Yeah, and huge shout out to Mike, Matt, and Jeff GG, who are our newest Patreon patrons. And also to Ariel and Sheldon, who edited their pledges to give us more money. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Oh crap! I just hit the continue button. That's awesome. You guys are amazing, by the way. Huge thanks to our fans. You guys are just the best. So
yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah. So let's go into the news. This is going to be a problem. You know,
unlike these people on Zach's team right now.
Yeah. People on my team right now are like, "Who is this noob?" I don't understand, but
it's funny because when I went in, I was going to just like slip in and play a game, and I saw your name. I was like, "Oh, Zach's son is playing."
No,
I was like, "That was Zach."
Yeah, no, it's totally me. So let's get into the news, shall we? So there's a little thing called Pokemon Go Fest, and oh man, this was I don't know if I've ever seen such a more glorious disaster that has happened lately. Pokemon Go Fest, which happened in Chicago, is that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Over the weekend. Basically, and now I don't understand what they were trying to do. I only know what actually happened, which was basically, and they've actually released several posts since then. I think that they have done the best they can to try and recover from this. I think that they just didn't realize how badly they were going to destroy the cell networks, for one, and like it was basically like. How can we possibly recreate the sheer force that can be imposed on a cell network and all of our game servers and everything in a localized area? And then they did this as a way of trying to do that. I don't know. It was weird because basically nobody at Pokemon Go Fest could even access the game, is my understanding. And then they had the audacity of having some big on-stage thing, which was obviously pre-planned.
The president of Niantic came out and got booed by the crowd.
Yeah, which
was bad.
Like if you go to CND, he's a YouTuber. If you go to his YouTube page, he's got video of it where he was recording, and you can hear the crowd booing the CEO, and they were also chanting "Fix the game" to him and stuff. So it was bad.
I should retract what I said. I don't think that it's ever okay to be a jerk to a real person. Having said that, if you they also had it coming, or they shouldn't be surprised that that's what the reaction of the mob was, right?
No, but you had people that flew in from around the world for this thing. So I would be a little bit annoyed. You know what I mean? If I flew and then nothing.
And basically nothing happened, and you're expecting that you're going to be able to play Pokemon Go with all of the biggest mega fans in the world.
And this was also a paid admission thing.
Yeah.
And
get tickets.
They've said that they're going to, and the thing is like some of the people are saying like, oh, okay, well, you're going to be reimbursed the price of your ticket. Not if you bought it from a scalper and you paid like 3 times the value.
And lots of people had to buy from scalpers. Those tickets sold out in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, guys. Like there was people that, like I said, there were people that flew in. So what do you do about the flights? Like that's and the hotel stay and all that.
I don't want to be like the Debbie Downer on this, but I'm just going to say it. And people that are listening and people who are watching on YouTube, y'all can rail against me. I don't get it.
What do you mean?
I don't get why you would want to go to a Pokemon Go festival. I don't. I thought the ship had sailed on this game. I thought we were done.
No, it's back in a big bad way. When they started raids and all that, like people jump back in. And the thing of it is it was supposed to be the announcement of the legendaries, and that was the whole big thing behind it too. Was they announced there's going to be legendaries, but this was going to be like the announcement of which ones and all that stuff. So it was supposed to be a big.
And you were going to run into it for the first time.
Yeah,
I mean, I could see. I don't know. I'm not a Pokemon fan as much as some people are, but I could see a Splatoon festival, even or like a ARMS like a multiplayer game festival. Because I mean, there you don't. I mean, I guess you're going to play online, but you could also play locally. But
here's the thing, though, Marty, is that I think that I agree that I don't know if I would go. I actually, if I were living close by, I would probably try and go. You remove the word "go" from Pokemon Go Fest, and it's Pokemon Fest, right?
Yeah.
And there are tons of people who went because it was a Pokemon con. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So like that, like I wouldn't underestimate that. And also, yeah, it's just, I hear what you're saying, but there's the con scene is such a big thing that.
Yeah.
And I guess for me, it's just like coming back to and thinking about like I don't really care for Pokemon as much as I do other Nintendo franchises.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just can't like if it's disappointing for those people that spent the amount of money and the amount of time they did. So
well, the thing too is that I honestly, and I don't know enough about it, but I imagine that if you're going to Pokemon Go Fest, that it's not just like a bunch of people sitting around playing Pokemon Go. There's like booths and you know what I mean? Like you go to those kinds
they had actually like they had created like Pokestops, like actual pillars that looked like the Pokestops in the game and all that stuff. And it was like all this cool looking stuff that was just like to give it more of that feel and that vibe that you were actually, they try to make it more, I guess, just, I don't know, the words escaping me right now, but it was just a way to get you more involved and make you more feel like you're part of it. So
yeah. So this is what's this. So basically, there's a couple different main posts that that came out. One of them was that they're basically going to be reimbursing ticket prices. They're giving everybody $100 worth of Pokecoins. They're giving everybody who was there a Lugia. I think
because the Lugia event where they actually had the chance to participate in that raid never happened. So they gave everyone the Lugia,
which is super kind of lame too, right? Like, oh, don't worry, you'll just log in and it'll magically be there. It's like like playing the game and you've got like when you're playing the game, you have a Pokemon Go Plus or whatever, and somehow your egg hatched while you were walking, and it's like, oh look, suddenly now I have like this really rare Pokemon. Okay, I guess that was anticlimactic. Like it's cool that I have it now, but so. But yeah, so there's that. They're doing a bunch of stuff with all of those. This is the interesting part for me too. They updated later about the technical problems, and here's just a little bit of a quote here. It says, "What happened?" I don't know who this was. I don't know, somebody from Niantic. What happened? Technical issues with our game software caused client crashes and interfered with gameplay for some users. Okay, so already they have client issues. So, like, in other words, there was bugs in the app itself, right? Okay, which the gameplay issue was resolved with the server configuration change, and the crashes were also addressed for many but not all users. A more protracted problem was caused by an oversaturation of the mobile data networks of some network providers. So, in other words, they overloaded some of the networks, right? So if you were on, I don't know, just for example, like Verizon or AT&T or whatever, depending on what network you had, they were just totally bombed out in those areas, like actual geographic areas. Network congestion also led to a login issue, which affected some users able to access the internet. This latency-related login issue was addressed with the second Niantic configuration change. And then they just kind of go on. Basically, they say, we actually contacted some of the carriers and deployed cellular on wheels. So basically like those big trucks that bring in extra internets to areas. That's how that works, right? They just on the back of the truck and they just kind of disperse them into the atmosphere. I don't know. Tubes. I don't know.
They do that a lot for like South by Southwest and other like New York when they have concerts in Central Park and things. They do.
I just imagine that it works kind of like
it's just a big booster.
If you've seen the movie Twister, where they have those little pods that fly into the sky into the tornado, right? And then they just scan the tornado. It's like that, but they just release internet instead. That's how.
This is why we don't go to Zach for technical explanations.
little internet bombs.
Yeah, just little like a swarm. So basically, they just destroyed all the networks, and they just. It honestly sounds like they had very similar issues to what happened at the very beginning, the very early days of Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought they'd fixed it, and then they just bombed it. It was like a DDoS attack, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's pretty crazy, but it's I feel like they've made good on it. I think that they were silly to try this in the first place. They should have known better. They should have asked but it is what it is. I don't know. craziness.
So in addition,
I don't know any other thoughts on this.
Yeah, so in addition to Lugia being out in the wild now, we don't know if that's got a time limit or not. But based on the in the mini challenges that they were supposed to do, I talked about it last time we brought them up. I don't remember the name. The blue team ended up catching more Pokemon than the others, so that's why we have Articuno as the other legendary that's live right now.
Okay, that was that. I wondered why, because I told my son, I was like, "Hey, dude, they're doing some, they're doing the legendaries finally," and he was like, "Oh, so like is the Firebird?" And I was like, "No, it's the Ice Bird." And he's like, "Oh,
yeah." So they haven't been releasing them in the order of how they placed in that event. So Moltres is, Articuno will be until the July 31st. Moltres will be live between the 31st and August 7th, and because they came in second, and then Zapdos will be between August 8th and the 14th because it's Team Mystic. What do you expect?
Yeah. Freaking Mystic.
For Team Mystic.
Wait, yeah. Don't you mean Team Insight? Is it that Team Insight's the yellow team?
Yeah, yellow team.
Oh, Instinct. Yeah.
Team Instinct.
Instinct? Is it?
Mystic.
Which one?
Mystic's the blue team. Instinct.
Yeah,
is
Mystic won. Instinct did not win.
Instinct is the short bus, right? Is that how that works?
Come on, listen. I went on Instinct. All right, would you guys stop? Enough of this nonsense.
My son thinks that Team Instinct's cool too.
I like the colors, man. The colors are cool.
I hate yellow.
All right.
Well, yellow and black were cool. That's why I like them.
So that's Pokemon Go Fest. They just so speaking of speaking of performance issues, I guess maybe that's the way to go. Marty, do you want to talk to us about you got a pre-order in, right, for the SNES Classic?
No, and it was a very sore spot for till about 3:00 this afternoon. It was a very sore spot. I want to preface what I'm saying by I want to say that if you were one of the ones who got a pre-order in and it got canceled, I am so sorry that yours got canceled, except for the fact that now I might actually have a chance to. So basically what Zach's alluding to is that everyone who pre-ordered an Super Nintendo Classic last week at Walmart on Friday night between the hours of 9:44 and 10:44 p.m. It's the most random time. Their orders have now been canceled. All pre-orders have been canceled due to the fact that the pre-order page was uploaded in error. So I have a question about this.
Okay.
How many of us actually believe that?
I do.
I do believe that?
Yeah, actually. Because I just did a video today for Nintendo Talk, and that's what I talk about is every website just prior to pre-orders and stuff, they do a placeholder page. You go to Amazon right now, they have a placeholder page. Best Buy has one up, and I think Target is the other one right now. They all, before it gets set, they set it up, and when you actually go there, it's all preliminary stuff. It gives the specs. It can say, like, for more information, email now. I think that's what the person that was setting up was supposed to do, and they clicked something wrong and made it go live rather than actually just, that's what I really truly believe happened.
So my other question is this: does Walmart really have that many? Because they pre-orders were up for a good 30-40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
It was, I think it was longer than that. I think it was closer to an hour, if I'm not mistaken.
Does Walmart really have that many?
I think what happened was it went live, and all of a sudden somebody's like, "Wait a minute, why is our computer like? Why are we getting all these orders? What is this?" And that's what triggered it. And they probably just shut it off rather than, "Hey, we got X amount," and it shuts off at that point.
For a time, the page turned into an error if you try to hit it. So I think I don't think because it was done in error, presumably, there wasn't a cap on the number of pre-orders that it would take. It was just taking them until until they someone shut it off. And so they took the page down hard and then put it up as a proper placeholder page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I said that to you the night you and I did Nintendo Talk Live, Marty. I had said to you, like, before I even knew about the email that you had, and I said to you, like, I think that this was a mistake. I think it was an absolute mistake. It doesn't make sense that it just randomly went up. And the other thing that made me feel it was a mistake all along was the fact that, like, nobody else went live after that. Like, it was just like, because this is what I thought. I thought either one of two things. It was an absolute mistake, or Walmart did the Target move for the NES Classic and they put them up without commitment numbers from Nintendo. Target did that during the NES.
Characteristic for somebody like Walmart. That's just that you would expect that from somebody, like a smaller place. Like even like I think GameStop did that with like Amiibo orders and stuff like that too, right? And so it's just like, people
Target
know better by now.
Target did it with the NES Classic. They put them up. Nintendo never gave them the commitment numbers, and then when they actually got their commitment numbers, they started canceling pre-orders because they didn't have enough to meet the commitments. It wasn't a huge number, but they were pretty close to what it was, but I remember people being pissed about that back then. So what I think that Walmart should have done was look, we did this in error. We don't have our commitment numbers at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to honor your pre-orders, and then if Nintendo says you're getting 50,000 units and you sold 75,000 units, well, you'll get the initial 50,000. At some point, you'll get the remainder, and you can either wait for it, you know what I mean, or you can just cancel it and try someplace else. But I think they just canceling it for everybody, I think that was a bad move.
You know what, though? I just to play the other side of it, though, I feel like Walmart is also looking at this situation with no particular loyalty to Nintendo fans. They're looking for the profits, and like they want to have stuff on shelves as much as possible. And the worst possible situation is for them to have a situation where, sorry, all of our stock has been pre-purchased by error months and months and months ago, and then suddenly they have this reputation of being the only place that doesn't have them on shelves because they've sold them all already or something.
So how hard would it be?
They're just like, whatever, I don't care. Like, whatever, screw you, Nintendo fans. We're just going to have this blank slate, scorched earth, and, we'll wake up tomorrow and everything will be just the way as it was at the beginning of yesterday. And so, I don't know. That's kind of how I think they probably looked at it.
My thing is this. How hard would it be for Nintendo to say, we're going to open pre-orders for 2 months, and we're going to take as many pre-orders as we get, and then we're going to fulfill that plus 10%.
Yeah, that's the answer. Like,
how hard would it be for them to do that?
I'm so tired of people going, well, Nintendo's a conservative company. Okay, you're conservative. This takes all the risk out. Completely throws it out the window. It eliminates scalpers. It takes the risk out. It immediately tells retailers you're getting instant sales. You don't have to worry about taking inventory. You know you're going to sell out of these things. And guess what? By the way, you're also going to have stock sitting on the shelves so the people that didn't get it can walk in and pick them up. And everybody is happy. I don't understand.
Based on pre-orders until very, very recently. And so they already have all of these other processes that are in place in order to get manufacturing going, right? And so they have all of their other things. I think you're right. When
I was a kid, right, I just happened to have the game sitting right here. This game came out. Okay? Yep. This game and Zelda 2 both came out. I'm holding Super Mario Bros. 2. You couldn't get them forever. And then after that moment, because they were having chip issues, Nintendo started doing pre-orders, and the idea was this gauges and tells us how many copies we have to have before the game goes gold. For some reason, that stopped, and I don't understand why it stopped. That mentality just went away, and it's like, I don't get this. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, when I got my PlayStation 4, I got the Arkham Knight Edition, right? Sony puts on their website, it's going to go live 2 days from now, this is the time. Come to our site. It's going to pop up pre-order at this time. You click it, and then it was a portal and sent you to Best Buy or to GameStop or whatever, and then you just pre-ordered it from them. I just don't understand. If you don't want to do those things, fine. Stop the secrecy. Stop the keeping your mouth quiet, not telling anybody anything. It makes no sense whatsoever. The only thing, when Nintendo does these tactics, it's good for PR. Okay, everybody's talking about it, but I feel like every time they do this, they lose 5 to 10 customers for good because they're just so pissed off that they don't want to come back. And this is where Nintendo needs to wake up, get out of the caveman times, and go, we just need to tell people what is going on. If it's truly an FCC issue, then just say, guys, we have to get through the FCC. We have to get approvals. And then once we get those approvals, pre-orders will go live. That's all you have to say. And everybody will just go, okay, we got it. And then when the FCC approvals happen, go, okay, in 2 weeks, these are the stores that are going to be working with us to do pre-orders. Go to your favorite retailer. There you go. Done. And I guarantee you, this all goes away.
You know what?
I said this about the NES Classic, and I'll say it about this. Nintendo really doesn't have anything to lose, do they, by these sitting on the shelves for a little bit?
No.
I mean, what do they have to lose by me being able to walk into a store a year from now and being like, oh, there's the SNES Classic?
Well, I believe they pay for retail space, don't they? Don't they have to pay for shelf space?
Yeah, they do. I would say the other thing is, I would say, what do they have to lose from what they, what do they have to lose from what you said, Marty, right? Or what you're saying, Bobby, what do they have to lose? I think that what they have to gain from what they're doing is to increase demand. And I know that for every one person who is pissed and swears off Nintendo forever, they've got another 10 people who are like, oh man, this thing's really hard to get and I really want to get one. And I really like that is the way of business and numbers and they're running a business. And
But do you think that really helps them long term? Like, look at what the situation they're in right now. Like they're struggling. The Switch is moving. Everything is moving forward at this point. But look at we're all Nintendo fans. We're not blind to the fact we're just coming out of the Wii U era, where that was an era where people were just like, enough. We're tired of your games. We're moving on. And that whole supply and demand stuff, it didn't work for them. It just totally, they went in thinking like, we're going to blow out the doors and we're going to sell out of these things, and they didn't, and then they couldn't recover from it. And a lot of that is why Amiibo were so scarce at the beginning, because they went super conservative because the Wii U wasn't moving. And it's just, I just don't understand the archaic, caveman mentality. Like, it just doesn't, I don't get it at all.
Here's the thing that I am seeing a lot of people struggle with Nintendo in general lately, is that what people want is they want what they want right now as easy as possible. And when that doesn't happen, then people get insanely frustrated. And that is where I hate to blame the victim here almost, but I'm almost just like, but it's just a little plastic box with some games in it. I understand all of this sort of like, come on guys, get your crap together. But the vitriol that can happen with that, and yes, they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to, they're not doing it the best way possible. I don't know. I just have this real disconnect with people who get butthurt about the fact that their pre-orders got canceled. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is, and they're going to try and get demand, or they're going to try and meet demand here, and it's going to be the best that they can possibly do it. But I really have a hard time with this idea that everybody just, I don't know. I find it to be, I feel sometimes like this situation, the way that people are addressing it is like when I tell my kids that we're going to do something and then situations change for some reason. It's out of my hands, but then I have to go back and tell them, well, actually, you know what? You can't have ice cream before bed because I made a promise that I shouldn't have. And then I endure a tantrum for a half an hour. Like that's...
in this case, I don't have an issue with people being upset with Walmart. I do have an issue with people being upset with Nintendo in this situation.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this particular situation is Nintendo's fault whatsoever. Walmart made the flub. Walmart screwed up. They need to own this. For me, Nintendo's only issue is their lack of communication with people because they're creating this frenzy. And
but they're going to have people losing their crap over this regardless of when they say it, how they say it. So for them to take their time with messaging and being clear and not, there are so many people out there who, perfect example, and I'm guilty of this myself. This Splatoon 2 voice chat nonsense is a perfect example of anytime that anybody has any opportunity to jump down Nintendo's throat about something to give them bad press, they're going to. And so Nintendo is better off to keep their mouth shut because regardless of what they say, people are going to be pissed. And so they might as well say nothing until they have something concrete to announce that is going to please people. And if people are going to be upset in the meantime, then whatever. But I feel like at some point, I think it's actually a very mature response to say, you know what, guys, you're going to react however you're going to react, and we're going to announce it when we're good and ready. And that's how a quality, mature company runs. And they probably just, they're going to do it in a way where if they were governed by the passions and demands of the Nintendo Reddit or what I mean, like it would
let me ask you a question.
It'd be crazy town. It'd be crazy making. They have to divorce themselves from that.
But let me ask you a question. So Apple phones, right, sell out like crazy, and they do pre-orders, but they have a system set up that the pre-orders don't end.
Yeah, the pre-orders turn into back orders, and they will be fulfilled eventually. It just may take 3 or 5 months.
And the crazy thing is, if I walk into Best Buy and I go buy an iPhone 8 or 9 or whatever's upcoming as the time goes, I walk in the door and I pay my money. I know I'm not getting it, but they can tell me exactly what date I'm going to get the phone.
Right. Yeah.
How can Nintendo not do that?
Why can they not do that?
Because here's the thing. You're a video games wise, you're a 30-plus-year-old company. You've been in business for over 100 years. Like, that's where I just don't get it. And I think that's where I say the communication stuff has to come in better play. Like, when I walk into a Best Buy and I go, hey, do you have a Switch? No. When you get them? No idea. Like, that makes no sense to me. Especially when
infrastructure, though, that they don't.
Well, I get that, but how come I can walk into the same Best Buy and go, you have an iPhone 7? No. When you get them in, we have another shipment coming in 2 weeks. Can I pre-order that? Yeah, no problem. It's done. It's like a no-brainer. That's the parts that I don't get at all. Like, it just blows me away when it comes to that stuff. Like, that's where I just feel like Nintendo, and Nintendo fans, I feel, need to stop giving a free pass to this stuff. Like, that's not acceptable. Like, you're in 2017.
Yeah, okay.
Other businesses are doing that.
How do Sony and Microsoft do it the same thing, though?
Well, what do you mean?
Like, are we holding Nintendo to a standard that we would not hold the Xbox or PlayStation?
No, I don't think so, because I don't, do you hear this kind of craziness happening? Like, so when the PS4 came out, yes, there was constraints, but I think it was cleared up within 6 to 8 months, done and over with.
Okay.
So, I mean, but Nintendo, the Wii was what, 2 years? It took me 2 years to get a Wii.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to actually buy it from a scalper off eBay, because you couldn't get them in the store. So, I mean, at the end of the day, how long do we give them?
How many units were sold in that time period?
I don't have the numbers in front of me.
So I guess my point is just like there are so many different variables at play here, and maybe this is a good chance for us to kind of we could argue about this forever. I don't mind.
Well, there is one thing I want to add before we move on. Going back to what you said about, it's better for them to be quiet versus try to say something and piss people off. Mm-hmm. Nintendo is compared to Sony and Microsoft, a chatty company.
Yeah.
When they don't talk, that pisses people off. We saw what happened with the Switch up until January.
Yeah, they are very chatty. We've always got stuff going on.
So You're not going to get. There's no situation where everyone's happy.
Well, and not only that, Jesse, is that they are chatty, but they're chatty in very deliberate ways. I think, Marty, what you were saying, or Bobby, what you were saying with, let us know when we're going to be able to pre-order this and that and whatever. They never, ever will let you look behind the curtain, right?
No. Yeah.
And up until a few years ago when they started doing the Treehouse Lives, like, it was this insane thing at E3 where it's like, wait, people who work at Treehouse we're going to see them?
Yeah, I know.
Do they look like humans, or are they like little troll people? Are they related to like the Keebler elves? I don't understand, right?
No,
like,
yeah,
the Treehouse was like almost like this mystical sort of thing, and so for them, and I think that they are very deliberate about, like, when we say something, it means something, and we're going to say it in a way that is very deliberate, right? Like, those Nintendo Directs are polished. They're never going to just kind of come out and say, oh, well, whatever. And that's why I think we don't see it. It's like, unless they deliver that information in a press release or Nintendo Direct, they're not saying anything, period.
I think the one, and I'll stop after this, but I think the one other thing is they operate fully like three separate companies: Europe, Japan, and America, where with Sony, it kind of all operates across the board, one company. Whatever's happening in Japan happens across the board. It happens all the time. Like, when we get a game that gets announced in Japan, the first question is, it coming to the United States? Is it coming to Europe? Where in Sony's case, most times it's like, if it's announced, it's coming across the board and going throughout. I think where people are frustrated with this is, I think, for me personally, I'm just frustrated with Nintendo of America. I feel like Nintendo of America just does a horrible job. When you look at Japan, they've already got their pre-orders up and going. Europe, they got their pre-orders up and going. And that's where I get upset, is where so all the other regions have them, and you don't know what's going on. And that's the part that gets frustrating.
The only thing that I would say in response to that is that my understanding of it is that Nintendo of America is dealing with a scale of distribution that is at least 3, 4, 5 times as many units. And so it's a much bigger endeavor. Like, that's why at the end days of Club Nintendo, where Europe and Japan were getting all this sweet stuff, and we're like,
we're getting garbage,
posters and notebooks and codes for games and nothing else, right? And,
let's talk about another reason why we can't blame Nintendo solely for this. I don't know if you guys saw this week, but all of a sudden ThinkGeek.com got thousands of NES classics that just appeared out of the blue, and they said, hey guys, we're going to have the NES Classic again, but you could get it in one of these really sweet bundles that ranged from $139.99 to $219.99.
Yep.
They stockpiled thousands.
And when you say let's be real, GameStop stockpiled.
Well, do we know that they did?
GameStop
I know they own ThinkGeek, but
yeah.
We know. I mean, did ThinkGeek have these ahead of time before the GameStop merger, or I don't know. I don't remember when that happened. But regardless of the issue, it is a GameStop. Bundles are a GameStop tactic.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. We know that what's going on with the Switch right now. But you had a situation where consumers were hungry for this product, and you purposefully let them sit in a warehouse until the value went up to the point where it's either buy a bundle or pay $200 just for the unit.
Yeah, from scalpers.
And that is shady business practice.
Yeah.
It's terrible, and that's when Nintendo needs to shut that crap down.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of look at that from the outside and think, like, that is both terrible and amazing. Like,
it's brilliant business. Here's the thing: it's great business, but it does not win you loyalty from customers.
This is like the mob.
Exactly.
Like, you're walking down the street and they're like holding their coat open. Hey kid, hey, you want some NES classics?
Shaking you down, man.
Oh, only place you can get them right here.
Yeah, Bobby mentioned when he got his Wii, he actually went through a scalper. But when I got my Wii, it was through Walmart for retail price, as part of a bundle that I had to pick 6 games and another controller. So a $250 system still cost me like $500 or $600.
Yeah, I paid $500 for mine, and all I got was the console.
Ouch.
So yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. So I don't know. So that's enough of that. Here's the okay. So let's very quickly. So I mean, here's the thing. All I'm gonna say is, I don't know. Go read yourself some Zen Buddhism stuff about attachment and happiness, and you'll get through this better.
We could talk about attach rates. How about we talk about attach rates?
There you go. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the Q1 fiscal reports. 4.7 million Switches have been sold worldwide as of the end of June, which is pretty good. That's like what, like a third of Wii U's, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
Around there.
Yeah, 3.92 million units of Breath of the Wild have been sold, which is an 83% attach rate. 3.54 million units of Mario Kart 8, which is 75%. And ARMS has sold 1.18 million, which is a 25% attach rate, which actually for that game is not bad. You know, that's
yeah. I was gonna say that's massive for ARMS.
I think that legitimately certifies that as a hit, right? I mean, can we say that?
Yep, absolutely.
I think the only thing that killed that was Splatoon, honestly.
Well, and here's the thing: is that now that this online app thing is here, would we do we expect that maybe they'll add a mode in that's going to utilize that? Like, I feel like they could bring more people back into ARMS with updates, and they've said that they're going to continue to release new characters and stages and stuff and modes, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they add it. You know, we are going to see more updates, and I will continue to go back to that game for sure.
I mean, I definitely think that they need to, and it would be a logical step with the way that they're doing things, because they've said, you know, we're going to support ARMS with free updates for a year, right? I think they said that at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, I think it's a logical step that somewhere down the line here, it's like, this new battle mode is coming, and by the way, you're going to be able to use the Nintendo Switch Online app now.
Yeah.
They definitely don't need to wait until ARMS 2 to do this.
Oh, no. Yeah, I think they could definitely just add it now, right? Like, so yeah, that's pretty awesome. And the announcements here, basically they have a bunch of outlines for games coming up in the future, and all sorts of stuff. So
they did reconfirm Pokemon for the Switch as well.
Yeah.
It said 2018 or later, so might as well just go ahead and say later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so basically we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 10 confirmed first-party games coming between now and TBA on the Switch, as well as a bunch of third-party games. It's pretty good, and honestly, the 3DS actually has quite a few games coming this year. So we have, and through next year too. So they. Obviously, this Friday, we have Hey Pikmin, Miitopia, and the new 2DS XL coming out. Then we have Metroid Samus Returns, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, plus Bowser's Minions. The Pokemon games, Fire Emblem Warriors, Monster Hunter Stories, Yokai Watch 2, Psychic Sphincters. Is that what? Oh,
There's your show title right there.
Kirby for 3DS, and Sushi Striker: The Way of the Sushido. So that is.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that's there's a lot coming, right? Plus we've got I don't know. I feel like here's the thing: is that people are only upset about, and maybe this is me just calling the Nintendo fan base a bunch of whiner babies, but people are only upset with Nintendo right now when they can't get what they want fast enough, or when, right? Like it's their. I feel like the supply issue. Most people who want a Switch have a Switch now, right? Like I was on Amazon just the other day, and they had Switches up for sale, right?
When I went last Friday at the release of Splatoon, I went out looking for Amiibo. which I was unable to find. However, my local Best Buy did have a pile. I mean, and it's a pile of Switches. They had 11 of them.
Wow.
That's the most I've ever seen in one place.
Yeah.
And I would imagine they're gone now, because anytime I see a Switch around here, within days it's gone.
Yeah. Yep. And let's be fair. We're complaining about not getting Switches. I mean, I have 2, so I'm fine. I mean, this household is happy with the amount of Switches we have. But to be fair, like,
please no more.
I'm glad that I'm not in Japan. Like, 3,000 people wait in line just for a raffle ticket for the right to buy it, and they only have 250 in stock. That is madness, man.
Yeah,
that is just no thanks.
Well, and it goes back to what I was saying about people who are, like the demand. Is it even possible for them to meet demand? You know what I mean?
Not right now. It's not. Definitely. I mean, with the Switch, not now. No way. It's impossible at this moment.
Yeah, and so I can totally understand the frustration for people who can't get it, but also this is just the way it is, man.
Can we just call Reggie right now and just be like, listen, hi Reggie, this is Zach Erickson, and I came up with the greatest idea for the SNES Classic, and it's called a cartridge that I can buy and play on my Switch. Like, that's what we're all. Yes, please. That's what needs to happen. Yes,
I really wish that would happen.
Me too, man.
Yeah, that's all I want. If they had that and it was available in the eShop, I'd be done.
Yeah,
you'd have my money.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I don't understand why we have to mess around with all this crap. I don't know. We have to make this so hard. Okay, so that's the fiscal stuff. Anything else from the fiscal business that we need to talk about before we get into some Splatoon talk? I think we're probably good. Okay, so very quickly, I think we might as well just talk about the Splatoon patch. There was a Splatoon patch today, and some balance patching happened. I don't know if we need to get into the details there, but we can get into what we've been playing. So let's do that.
Okay, I'm a squid.
All right. So with that, I think I don't know if anybody's got anything else we're going to talk about. I know all I really have to talk about is Platoon 2 for the Switch. I think that's the big game right now, and it's really good. I actually haven't had nearly as much time to play it as I would have liked over the past week. But I'm really, really enjoying it.
That's because you were out there like in this nature crap.
I know. Yeah. Actually, you know what? It was really awesome. And I was like out on the beach, and like I actually got like a really bad sunburn, which was awesome.
Well, that's what you deserve for going outside.
Yeah, I know.
Stay inside.
Awesome. Yeah.
I prefer to stay inside and pasty.
I also found out that my cell network blocks gaming protocols somehow. I tried to pair my Switch to phone, and it will allow me to, like, when I log in, I'll get off the hook or whatever, and they'll tell me what the matches are, and they'll tell me everything, and they'll let me go into literally everything. I even was able to buy the gear that I ordered on Splatnet. And like I got that in the game, but as soon as I tried to link to a match, it was like, no, it can't connect. I was like, oh, all right, well, screw you. So that's awesome. But I did get through. I'm through the second boss of the single player, and nice. I am like level 8 on the multiplayer. So I have gotten quite a bit of time in, and I got through the tutorial of Salmon Run. Nice. So I haven't actually done actual Salmon Run other than the tutorials.
Salmon Run is amazing.
Yeah, see, I thought that I didn't realize that it was like 12 hours every 2 days, and I kind of have a problem with that. But
I just want to make this clear right off the bat before we talk any more about this game. Salmon Run is my favorite part of this game.
Sweet. See, okay, so when's the next one? The next one's Friday night, right?
The next one is tomorrow.
Yeah, it's every other day, Zach.
It is
every other day.
It's every other day.
Like yesterday, it was from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
The issue that I have with it is that you can find the schedule for everything. Either it's on the app. You can see the stages that are coming up.
But Salmon Run starts at midnight Mountain Time tonight, so everybody just stay up till midnight, and then we'll salmon.
The Salmon Run schedule is not on Splatnet, which is so weird. You have to go find it in the game.
Yeah.
But it's my favorite. Yesterday on my lunch break, Justin and I played.
Yeah.
And it was me and him and two randos. And we got, we played the first match, we played two, and we just got destroyed. I mean, it was really bad. And then we played the second match, and we got to the third round. Because, it's 3 waves. We got to the third round, and I deposited the final egg in the basket with 1 second left to win the game.
Nice.
And it was just, it felt so good. But I didn't realize there were two different stages, and I thought that I went up to a different stage because I went from apprentice to part-timer, but actually the stages are in rotation too. And we were on the, I can't think of the names of them.
There's Spawn Grounds and Marooners Bay.
Yeah, we were in Marooners Bay. And one of the rounds that we died the first time, or maybe this was just I was playing by myself. The zombie salmonids came out. Have you fought them yet? Anybody? Bobby, have you?
Tutorial, so I have no idea.
Okay, so the zombie salmonids, it will turn night at Marooners Bay.
Oh, I didn't play that one. No.
And when it turns night, either one of two things happen. Either these zombie salmonids come out and you just get swarmed immediately. There's hundreds of them coming up out of the water. And there's these golden fish. I don't know. They almost look like foxes. And that's how you get your eggs.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just running all over the place. And it's really easy to get overwhelmed. The second thing that we had happen to us was it turned night. And in the single player game where they have those they're not brushes, but it's a big floating thing that sprays ink under it and it goes back and forth. If it sees you, it'll follow you.
Mm-hmm.
It has one of we fought those, and they have fish tails hanging out of them, and you have to shoot the fish tails until they explode. And it's not a boss. At least I don't think it said boss salmon incoming. But you just fight them, and you have to fight them over and over and over. And there's a laser sight on you the entire time. So a person on your team will have a laser sight on them, and that thing will be seeking them out while they run, and everybody else is trying to kill it.
So you have to kite them, basically.
Yeah.
Kite the boss. Oh, that's rad, dude.
It's actually that's why I love it.
Serious. I'm totally staying up till midnight. Anybody?
Here's why I love it so much. It's because I love Splatoon, and we were talking last week, I think, on the show about maybe a 2D version of Splatoon or something like that. What if they Pikmin, it's 3D and then they changed it up and made it 2D, and it's kind of a different game. It's getting really good reviews, by the way. Hey, Pikmin is. But this takes Splatoon and it takes the core aspect of the game and it takes the core aspect of what it is, but it makes it a different game entirely. Splatoon is not so much a game about killing, but it's a game about inking turf and territory control and everything like this. Salmon Run is just about killing. Salmon Run is exterminate the threat.
Yeah.
And I love it because it's that familiar yet not that makes it so good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I like I said, I've only played the tutorial, but I immediately was like, oh man. And the fact that they have monthly challenges to get gear. How difficult is it going to be to get the gear every time? Is it going to be pretty easy?
I actually got the shirt.
You did?
Last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't take if you work on it, it doesn't take that long. I think I'm real close to the shirt, and I think it was just a matter of couple hours of playing. Not a lot.
The good thing about it is even if you lose, you get those the eggs count towards your total.
Oh, okay.
So you may go down in rank, but you might still get the bonus.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? There were a couple games I lost, and we lost even though we got 20 eggs, and those 20 eggs counted. They went toward my bonus total.
Okay, so is there any like bonus for like do you get extra ones if you win?
I think the total is higher. Like there's some multiplier thing it goes through where it does some math and it awards you based on that. So, but if you put 34 eggs in the basket, like if your team puts 34 eggs in the basket, you're at least getting 34.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm loving it. One thing that I was surprised by that I've noticed is this game actually, like, the art style would make you think that it maybe doesn't look that much better, but man, the ink in this game is
it's bright, man. It's so much better.
Super bright, and it's goopy. Like the text, like it remembers where you swam. You know, you can see the texture of that ink so much better in this game than in the last.
And you know what I love about the ink too is that in the single player campaign it's glitter filled.
Yeah, I noticed.
And
that
the sun hits it at some angles, you know, as you're playing, and like light reflects off of it, and it just looks, it's almost a lot
better. Yeah. So
beautiful.
So the reason people may not know this, like, there's a reason why I'm on the show this week, and that, you know,
and it's because you hate this game.
No. It has nothing to do with that. There's a reason why Justin's not here and I am here. I beat Justin so bad this week at Splatoon. You know, I threw the challenge out to the Nintendo Dad. Zach runs off and goes camping or something. He gets scared. Jesse makes an excuse that he's not a Splatoon player. Marty offers the challenge until I throw the numbers at him, and then he backs down. But Justin got smoked so bad. I was waiting for Justin to tell me that his daughters were playing and not him. That's how bad it was. 200-300 points a match. I'm like, what are you doing, Masson? What is going on over there? It was so essentially I ran him off the show and I'm here for now on. So just be prepared.
Justin, it is time for you to regain your honor at some point, but
please try. Maybe I could play blindfolded and he'd have a chance. I don't know. I
was on Nintendo Talk this weekend with Bobby, and I was like, so how you doing in Splatoon? He's like, well, I'm doing all right. I'm level such and such. And I said, how fresh are you? And I thought I was about to like blow him out of the water. I'm like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm about a 30.5. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm 15.5.
Okay, so what is this fresh? Is that the thing under your level that's like whatever the
so you like,
it basically records your like streak, your win streak, and you know, and when you hit certain levels, you get bonuses on your experience.
Yeah, and it's weapon based too. It's depends on your weapon.
And so does it keep that like as you go? Does it keep that like so if you switch out and switch back, then you maintain it on that specific weapon?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's a really neat feature.
I like it.
Cool. I'm looking.
I'm actually pretty low now. I'm down to like a 10 or 15, something like that, somewhere in that area.
I know that you're at the right. That I wonder if they use that for matchmaking.
No, they don't have any rhyme or reason for matchmaking.
They really. So when we did the Splatfest, the way they do Splatfest for matchmaking is so perfect. It's not even funny. Like, it is so evenly matched. Like, if you're going up against a team that's like a ranked at a 1700 and you're a 1600, put your pants on and lock it down, man, because it's going to be a battle for you. Like, it's really tough. But if you guys are evenly matched, it's legitimately like an even match on the playing field. So it takes about 4 or 5 matches, and then all of a sudden they start to pair you off to where you go. And the way that works is it's based upon your scores. What you're scoring at the end of the matches, it starts to throw you into different ranks and different levels. And then by the time you got about, 10 minutes into Splatfest, it's wide open and it starts going. It's really awesome.
I said something about this yesterday, or maybe it was today, about the matchmaking. Like, I played a game because I'll just pick it up. Like, if I've got a few minutes, I'm sitting here at my office or whatever. And that's what I love about this is that it's Splatoon, which I loved on the Wii U, but now I can take it anywhere with me and I can get in a couple of games, if I'm waiting or whatever. But I picked it up and I was playing a match, and there were 6 players in the match of 8 that were above a level 10 and 2 that were very low level. Like I'm a level almost to level 12 now, and there was like a 6 and a 5. So they put me on the team with both the 6 and the 5. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, all right, you've got three high level or higher level players for each team and one lower level. Why would you not do it that way?
Yeah.
Because the other team was like all 10 and above.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely pitiful. I mean,
right.
I was trying as hard as I could to do anything, and I still got a fairly respectable score. But man, they beat the pants off of us because they had weapons we don't have. Like they had a guy on there who was level 18. He has weapons I haven't even seen yet.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the one thing.
That's where I'm wondering, like, if they, I know a lot of games like Overwatch or Blizzard or Heroes of the Storm, for example. You'll hear a lot of times for people talk about your MMR number, which is this invisible. It stands for matchmaking rank, I think.
Right.
Where basically it's an invisible number that Blizzard will use in, just in the example, that actually it's calculated with like your win-loss ratio and who you were up against and what you did during matches. But it has nothing to do with your actual player level. I wonder if this game has something like that. Because you can imagine the case where by gauging your performance, they say, you know what, this person's only level 5, but they're pretty good. Like clearly they were boss in Splatoon 1 because they never lose and they're awesome at this game and they always have a high score. And so I wonder if there's something like that in this game. I
think that kind of gets thrown out the window when you take the fact of like I can join anybody. You know what I mean? Like, if I see Eric Plunk playing, I go the opposite direction of him. And I go find somebody else, and I go that way, and I pray that he doesn't see that I'm playing and come follow me. But like, because of that, like we could jump. Because my wife is like I think she's getting up on a 10 now. I think she's a 10 or 11, and she told me like I can't play with you guys. Like I want to play with you guys, but like. What happens is people start joining in and they're much higher than her. And she's like, it's either I'm on a winning team and I can't find any place to ink, or I'm on a losing team and I can't even get out of the spawn zone. I'm getting killed. So she's like, it's very difficult for me. So she tries to just go away from all of us and go a different direction. And so I think that's the other issue as well. They're trying to allow everybody to be able to play with each other if they want to.
Yeah,
and that's a bit of an issue too. Because how do you get into that? Like
that'll screw up matchmaking all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. If I wanted to play you, Zach, you said you're an 8, and I'm like an 18. So that would be like, well, I can't play with Zach until he catches up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, but again, like I said, if I'm pretty consistently top 2 in my matches.
Yeah.
And so if I had a higher MMR number, and so you know what I mean? Like that
would make sense. That would make sense.
That would make more sense what they don't want is for people to just come in and bowl over everybody, because then it's not going to be fun anymore.
Yeah.
And so that's where I wonder if maybe the freshness ranking kind of comes in.
It might.
I don't know if that's how this game works though. Could be. So, but yeah, I definitely am enjoying it. I do want to talk just for a minute about this headset. Now, has anybody used the app yet? I think maybe that's another.
I have.
How was the app? Is the app now? It only is. Can you still? It only do.
You can only chat with your friends when you make a room and deliberately invite them to be part of the room.
And then can you then go take from that room? Can you go into regular Turf Wars?
No. No, it has to be the online lobby.
It only works in private matches, then, right?
In the game.
What about Salmon Runs? Can you do a private Salmon Run anytime you want?
You can.
Yeah.
Anytime you want? Or only during the time?
No. You can't. No. That's only the only time you can do a private Salmon Run is LAN. So if it's I have a Switch and you have a Switch and we're near each other, then we can go into
anytime.
There's something called the shoal. The shoal. You go into the shoal and you sign up for it and you can go play. Yeah.
But Zach, to answer your question,
I don't have 3 other friends who, well, just in general. But
to answer your question about the quality of the app, I will say this: I've actually been kind of surprised by the quality of voice that comes through.
Okay.
for Nintendo's first outing in that, and for something that's not being handled by their own first-party device, their proprietary device, for it to work on iOS the way it does. I mean, I've played it several times. I've played with Eric Plunk. I've played with Justin, which, I mean, he's playing in Ireland. I'm playing here. There were absolutely no glitches or stuttering or anything in the voice.
Yeah. I mean, we played the other day. It was Mark Carabin, who lives in Canada, me, Lucas Lohr, who's actually in the chat now, and Luke is in the United States, and then we're playing with Gary Gray in England. The four of us went in, and we did a 2-on-2 match. It grabbed, the two people that were on the same teams. It pulled you out of the lobby. You went during the match. You went in. You started talking. Match was over. It brought you back in. Now, the one thing that we did that was different was we did the one match and we're like, all right, let's go just back to the other stuff and we'll see how long this lasts, because it doesn't kick you out right away. It lasted for, I would say, about 3 minutes before it finally kicked us all out because the room was dissolved. And then we just went to Discord and continued the conversation and stuff. That's the problem. That's ultimately the problem. The
problem is that it's that you basically the fact that they're limiting it to private matches, I think, is pretty dumb. I see no reason why you couldn't have some sort of a party system where you just talk to each other, voice chat style, and you can even limit it to your friends still, right? And you could invite them, because there's already a way for me to join other people's matches, the public matches. There's already a way for me to do that. You can still limit it to friends.
Yeah. Sean and I were discussing this on If We Ran Nintendo this week, and the one thing that I had brought up during that was all of the issues, minus the fact that you have to use the phone, can be fixed via patches.
Yeah.
Other than that wiring contraption that they have going on, that's the only thing that can't be fixed. Unless at some point they bake the app into the Switch later on, or they tell you can download the app into the Switch. But other than that, that wiring and all that, you can't patch. But like what we're talking about, putting a party chat in. Because here's the thing. I think this would be really cool, is if I'm playing Mario Kart and you guys are playing Splatoon, we just jump into a party chat and we can still talk to each other. Like, that would be nice. You know what I mean? So I think once this actually goes legit live, because I feel like it's still in beta. I feel like this is not the final solution of what we're going to get. I feel like, because it's got the game, I'm sure Mario Kart's going to get added to it. I'm sure the other games as they come, the multiplayer games, will start getting added to it. ARMS will probably get a game added to it, like a section added to it. And I think once that starts to open up, then we might start to see some other things going. But it's all built in. I mean, I don't see why they can't just do these things. Like, the other frustrating things is if you have to stay in the game, or you have to stay in the app, so I can't switch out and go something else. And then the other thing is you can't do if the phone goes blank, like if the phone shuts down.
Yeah, it goes into sleep mode.
It goes into sleep mode. It's done. You'll get banged out. So that's a little.
My problem with Splatoon 2 in general, and I would say the only negative that I have about it, and this may be app related as well, is that why can I not why could the four of us not party up in the game and be sure that we're not going to end up on an opposing team fighting each other?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think
can we not in regular battles, you get what I'm saying?
Isn't it? Isn't that the purpose of league match?
League battles it's ranked. So league, that's the only issue I have.
You have to be super good to even unlock league battles.
Right. I've already unlocked league battles.
Oh.
Well, okay. I don't like playing in ranked mode.
I haven't.
Yeah.
And so ranked Splatoon match. I mean ranked ARMS. I'm like a rank 4 or 5. And it's just because I've enjoyed playing around with that, because you don't get forced into the 2-on-2 matches. But this was shooters, I really don't care about the rank. But I would love it if we could make, outside of a private match, why can't we party up via the Nintendo Switch or via this app and all go in together? That needs to be fixed.
Yeah. And again, I think that you can be in the same group of matches or whatever by joining your friend's match. But again, it doesn't. You could end up on the opposite team.
Yeah, I want to be on the same team. Like basically, what I'm saying is I want to put Eric Plunk on my team.
What I would like to do is, but what I would like to do is say like, here's my team of 4, and we all just go like exactly what happens. You just go into a lobby and it starts randomly matching you up. The same thing. Here's your team of 4. You're randomly matched against another team of 4. And you get done that match, it throws you out, and then another. You know what I mean? Like that would be pretty awesome if you could just do that. If I can compete as a team of 4 and just go out and battle other teams of 4, because ultimately, like I feel like that's like if I wanted to get involved in like competitions. How do I get practice? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you get practice? How do you get good? Like, all that stuff. Like, I think that's because there's no way to like match up like that, and I feel like that's part of the issue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mean other than like than league match, right? Like
because I'm not sure how league match works. I'm not sure if you have to have 8 people playing.
No,
you create.
So you would create your match. So it's basically like team league match, or ranked match. So basically, you create a team, and this is just my understanding of it. I could be wrong, but my understanding is that you actually create a team, and then that team of people has a particular ranking. So that's my understanding. I could be wrong, but that's how it should.
Since I have it unlocked, I'll go check.
Okay. Having said that too, like with all of the, like I really don't have very much negative to say about the game itself. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I think they've done a really good job at creating, like recreating that experience of the original game and the feeling of it, in a whole new way, right? Like I feel like I have that same feeling as last time, but it's more polished. It's more fun. It's just great. I'm really having a good time. I do want to talk quickly. I picked up one of the headsets. And I just today published a video review of the headset. I don't know if anybody here watched the video review yet, but now keep in mind, and I think that everybody kind of forgot that this was how it's going to be. This is $30, $29.99 in the States, and it is a headset and all of those little dongles. I don't know if anybody here has ever used a pair of a $30 headset before, but it's you're getting what you pay for with this thing.
So you're saying it's not good.
Yeah, we have 3 teenagers. I buy $15 to $30 headsets almost every month.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So the sound quality, I actually have been using them all during this podcast just because I wanted to keep using them. I will tell you they're not super comfortable, for one, because they are behind your head kind of headphones where they stay on your head by wrapping around your ears with plastic, and then around the back of your head using just the strain of the plastic to squeeze your head. So that's how they stay on. So they're not super comfortable. They look cool. I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
Right. They look like I do think they look really neat. I like them for that, but they're not great. The sound quality, Jesse, we tried it earlier, and the sound quality was okay. I'm not using the microphone because I have a nice microphone, but
the microphone wasn't bad. Not bad. I could tell it wasn't as nice as your podcasting mic, but for a $30 headset, it was pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean, you can take the little microphone out of it when you're not using it as a mic, right? So it's, but my problems with it, like the whole reason that seemed like the whole reason to get this thing was because of the little dongle that came with it that let you hear everything. The big issue with that is you don't get any sort of it's not powered at all, and so basically what we were kind of talking about before when we tested it is that the signal, I think, is just being lost. And so basically when you plug in both the Switch and your phone into this thing, it becomes, I would say it probably reduces the sound volume by about 50%. And so you plug into your phone and to your Switch, and suddenly both of them are too quiet. And I couldn't hear, like, it turned it down significantly to the point where like I was almost straining to hear it. And maybe that's just me with my old man hearing, listening to too much, like, I don't know, Dashboard Confessional when I was in high school at really loud volumes.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
But it definitely was, it was significantly quieter through the dongle than it was through just the headset by itself. So the dongle, immediately I'm just like, okay, well, this dongle is just not good for me at all. It's not what I need. It's not what I want. And I can't in good conscience recommend it to anybody, because it's, unless you are looking for, like, if you're looking just for the headset, then fine. If you want to spend $20 if you want to spend $30 on a Splatoon themed headset, fine. You're going to get, a cheap headset, but it's not going to be anything good quality. It's not, and that dongle is not good at all. It turns everything, it makes everything quiet, and in my case, that makes it completely. That is like completely unacceptable and not good.
I was thinking if that central piece was battery powered to allow for amplification of the two halves that loses half the signal, it might end up having a decent signal.
Yeah, but it doesn't have that at all,
right.
And so
it kind of defeats the point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I canceled my order then.
Yeah, it's just not. It's.
I was going to get one, but now you just talked me out of it.
If they were to have a pro version, or something like that was actually designed for people like us, then that would be fine. But these are designed for kids. Like, that's really what it is that these are not designed. And I think, really, I at the end of my video review, I show the most ideal version of what I think is the good setup, which is literally just put your earbuds in your phone, your standard sort of Apple earbuds with the microphone, put one of your earbuds in, and then put some over-the-ear headphones over top with your Switch.
Yeah, I've done that before with work.
Get the exact same thing.
Earbuds over these, so I can hear more than one thing at once. It works great.
Yep. You know what? If you only have earbuds, put one ear is your phone, and the other ear is your Switch, and you're fine. I don't know. It's a problem it's silly that it's a problem and that it's not built into the Switch. That is issue number one, and issue number two is that this is a really, what I thought initially was going to be a really, I think still, if you were to design a quality product for it, it would be this is just not a good solution to this problem, or not a well executed solution to the problem. I think if they were to actually have tried to make a high quality product for it, then that'd be different. But
another small issue we found when we did our test call this afternoon was he tried that's right, the dongle solution with a different headset, but it didn't fit right. So while he could still hear me, the mic wasn't connecting, so I couldn't hear him at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I don't know why that happened. And this was with a pair of $300 Bose headphones, right? Like, they're nice headphones. They've got an inline mic, all of that, and it just wasn't working. It just wouldn't recognize the mic for some reason. I would not pick up. So it's not like you can even replace, or at least I'm not entirely convinced that wasn't user error on my part, but it's bad enough that it's a possibility, right? Like, the fact that happened at all is like, oh, wait, what? And it just, the whole thing feels cheap plastic too. Like, it's not a quality thing. So don't bother. Just stick to other solutions for the time being. I don't know. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, and I usually don't like to poo-poo on stuff like that, but it's just, I cannot in good conscience recommend that product to anybody. So unless you want to just have a cool Splatoon headset. Like, this is a cool, like, if you're looking for like something that you can have for like a cool cosplay or something, then I think it's great, right? It's cool for that, but that's about it. So anyways, other stuff, what else have we been playing, everybody? I guess I did play the Hey Pikmin demo. It is surprising to me that is getting great reviews, because that demo was really boring. I'm just gonna put it
I thought the demo was good.
It was so okay. Here's the thing with this, and
it was very handheld. Like they were holding your hand the entire time,
but it was like
deliberately showing off absolutely nothing while at the same time throwing you a little bone. You know?
Oh. Yeah, it was. I mean, again, I'm realizing that is maybe not the game. You know, I am coming from a perspective where Pikmin 3 was a revelation to me. Like it was just, I loved Pikmin 3. And I love the complexity of that game and the way it made me think and, you know, wrap my brain around it and the multitasking elements of it. I found none of that in that game, in that demo. So I'm recognizing that it is probably not the Pikmin experience that I'm used to. And so maybe that's part of what's coloring my opinion of it. But I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. I'm interested to see what I haven't seen any of the reviews that came out today, so I don't know. What are the what sort of the average scores are we seeing?
Lots of 8s.
Okay.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, or are we seeing just like the 8s,
no like 10 out of 10 that I've seen yet, but like higher end stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I expected like 6, you know, because I figured this would be like you said, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So they, you know, maybe there's going to be some bad reviews for that come out, but I mean, everything I've seen so far has been very positive.
Yeah, I think
which is a good sign.
I talked about it last week when you were out, and I enjoyed it. Okay, and I'm looking forward to playing the full game.
It just seemed like it was very...
Of course, I'm one who doesn't like the multitasking part. That's like the part I don't like about the Pikmin, but normally Pikmin games have enough to keep me playing. So I'm okay with it not having multitasking stuff.
Right.
Like games like StarCraft and those other RTSs, I can't play those.
Yeah.
I've tried multiple times. I actually re-rolled StarCraft 2 recently, and I actually did finish the original campaign at one point, but I didn't get very far the second time before I said, okay, I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how that all. We'll see how it goes. And again, I think that maybe this is under the same umbrella as it. Like to me, my impression was that it's under the same umbrella as like the Kirby games. Is the same sort of challenge level and stuff like that. And so if that's your thing, I don't know. It's coming out. The other one is, of course, Miitopia that's coming out. And that one...
It sucks because I'm so interested in both of those games, and I'm getting a new 2DS XL. I can't afford all of that at once.
Plus...
Absolutely cannot.
Not to mention the fact that Splatoon 2 just came out. That we're still...
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty... It's a good time to be a Nintendo fan.
It is.
This is true.
Here. So anything else that we've been playing, guys, or should we just head quickly into our emails and such?
Well, I have a few things I wanted to talk about that wasn't Splatoon.
All right, go for it.
So yeah, also last week I talked about Paper Mario Color Splash. That I started that and kind of had mixed feelings about the beginning, and the game pissed me off to the point where I'm done. I tried playing more this weekend, and it's got too much of Sticker Star in it that it's just starts off with a bad taste in my mouth. And what really, because the things that was like the worst part of the game, and they're all over the place here. And the other thing that I didn't like was Kamek. So sometimes when you start a battle, Kamek will show up and just mess with your deck. Sometimes it'll say, oh, you don't have 100 cards anymore, you have 6. But you win that battle, you get all your cards back. Sometimes is you still have all 100 cards, but they're all replaced with 100 rotten boots.
Or you can't see your cards, so you end up using your things, or you end up using good stuff.
That's what happened to me almost every time. All your cards are backwards, and I like using the boots more than the hammers. So in the sort, when you say sort, they always give you the deck if it's face up, the boots are near the bottom. So you have to, and you can't. There's no nice way of saying give me the back end first, or you can't use the joystick to maneuver around your deck. You've got to flick. And you can't just flick anywhere on the screen. You got to flick the cards, which means if you do it wrong, you're reorganizing the cards instead of shifting the cards. I'm like, no, that's not what I want. So and then when they're all face down, one battle, I had 2 thing replica cards, and I used them both. And the last time I used a thing card, I'm like, okay, I'm done. This is stupid.
Yeah.
You're going to make me do things I don't want to do, and then you're going to mess with it even further. So I'm not dealing with that anymore. So, again, it's a Paper Mario game. I loved the first 2 in the series, but the latest 3 have been progressively getting worse. To the point now, if a new Paper Mario game comes out, I'm thinking about skipping it. Unless they specifically say they're not doing things, we're not doing this, I'm probably just going to pass on it.
I think that they have
ruined this brand,
devalued this brand. Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Like nobody cares about Paper Mario anymore because it has become insanely bland.
Yeah,
it has become not what people liked about it, and frankly, I feel like what they need to do is they need to kind of get back to their roots a little bit with that Mario RPG stuff, and even the Mario and Luigi series. They have both kind of meandered away from what makes a good Mario RPG in different directions, but neither of the franchises are getting what they are giving people what they want anymore.
Right. Yeah, the last one that was Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario crossover, I liked the majority of that game, but near the end of it, they started throwing in shinies, which is again right out of Sticker Star, and yeah,
I feel like the last few Paper Mario games, in particular, whether it's been Sticker Star, Paper Jam, whatever, has just been, we've got about 10 hours worth of story here. Let's extend it ad nauseum with tons of fetch quests and long, protracted battles against enemies that keep respawning themselves over and over and over again. There's always that enemy that has that power where they can call in more, and it always works. It never misses. And you end up fighting like a Buzzy Beetle for 40 minutes. Right. And by the time you're done, you're just like, forget it. I want to put it down. I'm done. And so you don't progress as fast. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's a 40-hour game.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And that turned me off. The last like Mario and Luigi game that because I think it's both series right now are bad to me. The last good Mario and Luigi game was Bowser's Inside Story.
That was a good one. I love that one.
Yeah. I still do plan on getting the remake of Superstar when that comes out.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that
because I bought that. I think I bought it originally, and then I bought it on Virtual Console, and I still never got far. I don't know why I stopped playing, but maybe if it's actually on a decent handheld, I might stick with it. That
was a game for me that one of the reasons I kept playing it was the dialogue. So funny.
Yeah, Fawful's awesome.
Yes. But whoever wrote that game.
Yeah, because I didn't get far in Sticker Star the first time, so I forgot he was in it. So when he came back in Bowser's Instant Story, I thought he was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to playing that game anyway. Okay, so I've also played more Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, the HD remaster on PS4. So I remember I dug back to figure out exactly when this was. It goes back to episode 66 back in late February of last year, where I was starting a replay of Final Fantasy XII on the PS2, and then they announced this game, so I'm like, I better just stop. Because otherwise what would happen is the same thing happened with Twilight Princess. I played through it again on the Wii, and then when they announced the Wii U remake, I'm like, fine, great. I'm not wanting to play this yet. I'm not ready to replay this. So I decided to stop. And actually, the similar thing happened with Dragon Quest VIII. I started replaying that, and then they announced that was being remade, so I stopped playing that as well. Anyway, so in the newest playthrough, I got past the point where I played it a year and a half ago. So now I'm getting into things that I don't remember. It's new to me in my head just because it's been now 8 years since I've played this last. So nice. I'm having fun with that. And the fact that my daughter's getting her own PS4 so she can play her game on her own system, it'll free me up being able to play my PS4 again and not having to fight with a timeshare with her.
Nice.
Okay. Then
right on.
Something that I bought, quote unquote, bought on the PS4, but haven't played it yet. I hope to do it this weekend, so maybe I can talk about it more next week. Is a game called That's You, exclamation mark. It's the gameplay seems to be very similar to how Jackbox Party Packs works. It does require everyone be on the same LAN, or at least on the same local network. It's not like we're Jackbox, where I can play with people across the country if I set up a Twitch stream with low enough latency. This has to be on the same network. So if I can talk my kids into playing it with me, I'll give that a try. And then also, I haven't played it myself, but I've been watching my son play Super Mario 64. He decided he wanted to start to try to speedrun the game. He's watched other videos and learned how to exploit glitches in the game to be able to beat the game with 16 stars instead of 70. So I've been watching him do that, and it's kind of fun watching him do it. And so he did a lot of practicing on specific areas first, and then his first run from start to end, timing himself, he did it in about 65 minutes. And
wow.
And that was his first time run. And he's now got it shaved down to about, his best time now is 48 minutes.
Damn.
So he's got this timer splitter set up that says how long it took him to do each section. I told him he probably needs to make those splits more finer so we can see where his parts are and work on them. He's already shaved off almost 20 minutes off of his original time. So he's having fun with that, and I'm having fun watching him do it.
That's awesome. Very cool. And is he streaming that, did you say?
He wasn't streaming it, but he was going to start a run about an hour before we started recording, and I was going to talk him into letting me stream it on the Nintendo Dance channel while he played it, but he ended up staying upstairs for a while and doing some chores, so we missed out on that hour. But this weekend I might throw it up there if he's doing another run.
Chores are for chumps. That's what I say. Right on.
That's not what my pile of dishes is saying.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, so that's all I got.
Very cool. Right on. Well, with that, Bobby, did you have anything that you wanted to add to stuff you've been playing? Or
just Splatoon. I just play Splatoon, man. I love the game, and I feel like there's a lot of, there's a lot of content to it, and I'm happy with it. So we don't need to keep rehashing. Like I've been playing the hell out of it, so I can't get enough of it.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Right on. Well, with that, let's head into one quick listener mail. Let's do that. And of course, listener mail is brought to us by our friends over at oneupbox.com, and they're Marty, you get one-up boxes every month, right?
I do, and our newest video will be going up here soon for this month's box, the July box. It was a lot of fun. Had Star Wars in it, and I'm trying to think of everything that was in this box. Oh, they had a Splatoon sticker in it, a really cool Captain America pin, and the exclusive shirt of the month was Captain America and Iron Man as Splatoon squid kids fighting each other.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah, my wife stole it immediately. She was like, "Yep, this one's mine."
That is just about the best thing ever.
I ended up out of all of it, I was like, yeah, so I guess I get the Captain America pin. All right. The girl child immediately says, "I want the Star Wars ship," and so she got. It was like one of those really cool Hot Wheels, like the die-cast metal little ships. It was a Y-wing. It looked really cool. And I haven't seen it since, so it means it's in her room.
Nice. Right on. That's awesome. So we've got one quick email here. Oh, by the way, use the code Nintendo Dads, get money off. So use that, and you'll also be supporting the show. So thank you, One Up Box. You guys are awesome. Marty, do you mind reading this email here from Jeff GG?
Oh yeah, I'll be glad to. Here's what he writes. Old Jeff GG. Thanks for writing in, by the way. He says, for my first 200 hours of gameplay on the Switch, it has been completely in handheld mode with the Joy-Cons attached, and I've loved it. I didn't even take the dock out of the box. But when Splatoon 2 came out this week, I bought the new themed Splatoon Pro Controller and got the dock out of the box, and have been playing Splatoon 2 on the TV and love that too. But I feel like I'm playing my Wii U with Pro Controllers. That's fine. I like the Wii U, but the magic of handheld mode of the Switch left me. Anyway, I was just curious how much you guys, 1, play handheld versus docked, and 2, when in handheld, do you leave Joy-Cons attached or you detach and use Pro Controller? Thanks, Jeff. So let's just go around the horn here. Zach, do you play more handheld or docked?
Definitely handheld. I play a ton of handheld, mostly because of the location of the TV in our house. It's in the middle of the living room that's on the main floor of our of our little townhouse, and so we don't have, it's not like I go into the basement and lock myself in with the TV and have this glorious experience. It takes over the entire family when I play.
Sounds like how I play games.
So I mostly play on in handheld mode every once in a while. It is nice. Like if I'm playing with my family, then of course I'm playing it on the TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so if we're breaking out to play Mario Kart, for example, or we're playing ARMS or something like that as a family, then absolutely we are playing that on the TV. But there's almost this unspoken rule that you don't get to just take over the TV and make everybody else, force everybody else to watch what you're playing. This is a democracy. Everybody gets a say, and we don't all want to watch. We don't all want to watch. I don't know. Although it seems like there's a double standard, because as soon as Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or whatever crap is on, then everybody has to watch that. But I don't know.
But that's the beauty of the Switch, is that while that crap's on, you can watch. You can play a game.
Exactly right, and the reverse would not be true.
So, Jesse, what about you? Handheld or docked?
I'm almost exclusively handheld. I the only really times I've docked it is the rare times I want to stream, and playing Jackbox with the family. That's just the only multiplayer game I really play. But other than that, I'm almost always handheld. And when I do dock it, most of the time I just leave the Joy-Con on and use Pro Controller.
Yeah. See, so for example, right now for me with handheld, I'm actually using the Joy-Con grip, only because it's. I feel like Splatoon. I can actually do both, but I don't know what it is. I'm just playing it with the grip right now, with the Switch propped up. But I don't know. I feel like I could very easily play handheld in most situations. Yeah, but for the most part, it's. I don't know. I don't have a Pro Controller actually, so I think that's another
choice then.
Yeah. Well, there are still situations that I really do enjoy playing with the grip. I don't have a problem with the small buttons that some people seem to have, but I don't know. That's just
Bobby,
me.
what about you? Handheld or
So
dock?
I bought an extra dock, right? So I play majority docked, but I do play both because I take my Switch to work with me every day. So during lunch break, I play, handheld mode or tabletop mode or whatever I want to do. I prefer docked mode because I have the Pro Controller. I also bought the Splatoon Pro Controller this week. Honestly, for me, it's the analog sticks. I feel like the analog sticks are so much better on the Pro Controller than the Joy-Cons. I feel, and I don't think it'll happen, but I feel like I could snap the Joy-Con analogs anytime. They're just a little flimsy compared to the Pro Controller. So for me, I love the Pro Controller. And, I don't know, when I played Zelda, I wanted those big epic moments, those cinematic scenes on the big screen. I didn't want to play them on I didn't want to try to look at them on a little. It looks gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. I love what Nintendo did. The whole idea, they gave us what they promised us. But for me, it's better on the television.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. That when I first got my Switch, I almost exclusively played it in docked mode.
Mm-hmm.
But I have really gravitated toward handheld mode because the TV, we do have a central TV, but we also have one in the bedroom. But if I want to be with my family, I'm in the central room. I'm in the living room with them, and so we can be all. My wife can be watching a show, and I can be playing the Switch. And I will say that the last third probably of Breath of the Wild, I finished in handheld mode. But when I fought Calamity Ganon, I had to put it back in the dock just so I could do that on the TV. But
totally.
I have really enjoyed the freedom of handheld mode, being able to, like I said earlier, go and play Splatoon, wherever I want to.
Yeah.
There's nothing that stops me from that. I can bring it to work with me every day, and I can do that, or we can be on the road, and my wife can drive and I can play, or whatever. So I would say that it's 50-50 for me right now. I mean, there's some games that I just want to play docked. I really enjoy Mario Kart docked more than I do handheld. But I found that I do better in Splatoon 2 in handheld than instead of with Pro Controller, if that makes sense. And so when I'm in handheld mode, it's always Joy-Cons attached. Always. Yeah. I don't ever take them off. I don't want to prop it up. I don't want to do tabletop mode. Just because it sits at a weird angle, you got
to push it away from you a little bit.
Yeah, so I would much rather do that. So, y'all have any other thoughts about this?
No, I think that's the beauty of the Switch. The beauty of the Switch is that you can do all of those things.
Yes,
and I think that's what amazing
and that's
about
awesome.
it.
And that's the important thing, is that you can play the way you feel comfortable.
Yeah, and I did want to, as you guys were talking, I remembered my son, who is now almost 11 months old, found my Joy-Cons one day, and he is teething.
Oh no!
Man!
And he didn't completely remove, but the analog sticks have the little rubber pads on them. And apparently those are actually, I just discovered this, they're wrapped around the analog sticks. Yeah, and he managed to get the lip of one of them off. Remove it entirely, but I very quickly was like, what are you doing? And wrapped it back around, and I think I fixed it, and there's no lasting damage, but
I had one of those pop off, when I had the Joy-Con in my pocket, traveling. I had the Joy-Cons in my front pocket with the system in the back pocket, and then I can just take them out and then put it back together. And one of the plastic part came off of the analog stick, and it took me a while to get it back on. It wasn't very, because it's so small. It took me a while but I eventually did get it fixed, so it looks like nothing won't ever happen to it.
That's why
I'll never be a Nintendo dad, because my kid ever bit my Joy-Con, the little bastard be dead. It's just that simple.
That'd be a good little advertisement there for buying the nubs, that go on top of the
teething nubs. Nintendo
teething
Nintendo Dad's branded.
And then the Nintendo Dad's Switch edition.
Yeah. You just put our faces on each one.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome. I would buy one. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But
well, Jeff, thanks for writing in, man, and keep enjoying your Switch.
Yeah, it's So basically, here's the deal. We have 35 minutes before Salmon Run opens, and we got an episode. So
listen, you need to stop playing because you got other podcasts to record after this.
Oh, I know.
Put the Switch down.
I can't. I can't. All right. So yeah, that's it. Anything else, Bobby? Thanks for being on the show, man.
No, man. Thank you guys for having me, man. I love being here.
Awesome having you on the show, and it's just great to have you here. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Man, you can follow me Instagram, Twitter at Nintendo Gurus. Check out the YouTube channel. I'm doing a lot of new stuff over there. Nintendo Talk is Monday through Friday. I break down the news. I take 5 to 10 minutes and do that. Then I do Nintendo Talk Live on the weekends. I just had Marty on this past weekend. It was a blast. And then I just found out, man, we reached our Patreon goal of $75. So
I saw that. Yeah.
It just happened. Sean Capri was tweeting it out. And so ultimately that means that If We Ran Nintendo will now become a live show. So that's exciting, and I will actually be doing a Google Hangout once a month with the Patreon members, so that's kind of cool. That's going to be interesting, and so all that stuff. So check me out all over.
I love doing that stuff with our audience.
Oh, it's amazing, dude! I've been playing Splatoon with the community ever since I got Splatoon 2, and streaming for a couple hours a night. It has been a blast. Like so much fun.
Bobby, you're creeping up there on 800 subs too.
Yeah, man, it's getting close. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen soon, dude. And that's the thing. Like, this community has really wrapped its arms around me, man, in the past couple of months, and really expressed how much they're enjoying my content. And I can't be happier, man. It's like I went from 600 to 700 in 17 days, and I was just like, holy cow, dude. I was just blown away by the number. I mean, the numbers are the numbers, but it's interesting to see people coming, enjoying, leaving comments. It's been a blast, man. I can't be happier with the community.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, thanks for being on the show, dude. It's always an honor, and I mean, all I really can add to what has already been said.
It's coming. I was gonna say, play us out, Zach.
All I can add is that that's all that can be said. That's all that needs to be said. It's our song. It's
our song from day one.
Yeah. All right. That's I don't know. I'm gonna turn it off before I get
get a copyright claim.
Probably already too late.
Probably already did.
All it took was 2 notes of that saxophone and done.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Of course, we're going to be recording the Retro Rewind episode, the return of Retro Rewind, coming right after this. But of course, thank you everybody for hanging out. As this music fades in here, there it is. Of course, if you want to follow us on all of the social medias, you can do so on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Nintendo Dads. If you want to email us, you can do that at nintendodads@gmail.com. If you want to find our videos, you can go to Twitch or YouTube. Look for Nintendo Dads. You will find us there. We're creeping up on 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is awesome. You will make our I don't know. You'll make our list if you subscribe. I don't know what I'm doing.
You'll make the list.
Yeah, you can be on our list. If you want to call in and leave us a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS, you can do that. That's 929-256-3237. If you want Nintendo Dads merch, go to tiny.cc/Nintendo Dads store. Huge thanks to OC Remix for our music throughout the show, as well as to both Carter Johnson and Adam Leonard for our amazing artwork. And of course, if you want to change the world, go over to Apple Podcasts or iTunes or whatever you want to call it. We don't care. Just leave us a 5-star review. Written reviews are even better. That's going to help spread the Nintendo Dads gospel to the world. And if you want to subscribe, you can go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and of course, VGTribune.com. For me, for Jesse, for Marty, and for the Nintendo Guru himself, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
listening to Nintendo Dads.
Wobble Puffet? Wobble Buffet?